Hello everyone and very welcome to my very first podcast episode from Skeins to Stories. My name is Sarah and I'm coming to you from the north of Bavaria in Germany. And now I'm very excited to start this journey with all of you. I would like to start with some finished objects and show you what's on my needles and maybe share some plans where this whole podcast thing is going to. So, my first finished make of 2025 was the Lumme sweater by Sari Nordland, or Nordlund. It's a colorwork top-down construction where you basically follow a chart and then separate for the sleeves, knit the body, and yeah, you are very quickly finished then. So, of course, I have made some modifications to it, and yeah. So, where do we start? My gauge was not quite spot on with the yarn I chose, so I thought size 2 would be a good option. But yeah, my gauge was 3 stitches less than in the pattern recommended, so my garment that I ended up with was bigger. Now I'm a bit on the petite size, so this is very, very oversized to me. And when my stitch gauge was off, of course my row gauge was also off, and I ended up with a bit of a bad wing style going on under my arms. So yeah, to balance that, I lengthened the body about 20 centimeters. So if I put on a jacket or lift my arms, then of course the whole sweater pulls up a bit, and yeah, to balance that and don't have a naked back, so to say, yeah, I lengthened the body, as I said. So yeah, for the arms I did the same. I lengthened them quite a bit because I like it when the sleeve is like the half of my hand, so it gives it a bit of an elegant look, I would say. And yeah, I ran out of my contrast color because actually there is a little colorwork chart for the sleeves as well, and then I think it would be an I-cord bind off. But yeah, my contrast color, I think I ran out of that color, or I have... Oh no, I skipped it because the contrast was not strong enough, and you couldn't really see it on the sleeve. So yeah, the best the best part at last. This one is knit out of 100% acrylic. Now, knitting a garment of 100% acrylic yarn was quite adventurous to me because I never used, let's say, plastic to make a pullover before, and I did not know how it would block or how it would wash, all those things. But yeah, it washed very well, it blocked very well. Basically it didn't do anything, but it builds up this static electricity all the time. So whatever I touch gets a little electroshock. So be prepared whenever I wear this sweater. Yeah, that's a bit the downside of it. But overall, I have to say I made it to wear it by the first snow. And yeah, that's what I did. I finished it and I liked it. It's very warm. I would say it's a bit sweaty when you wear it indoors. But yeah, I knew that before. And so the very first acrylic pullover, it's nice to have. The design and the pattern I can totally recommend. It's very well written. I like her pattern writing style. The colorwork chart is also very clear. The instructions for the increases, pay attention to those. They are very clear. And yeah, the only thing I would change is the yarn choice, but that's obviously up to me. So yeah, the Lumme Pullover by Sari Nordlund, total recommendation. And if you want to make something for spring, because you know spring is ahead, then I think, or I know, she offers a T version with short sleeves and not a worsted but a DK weight yarn option. So if you want to make something that's a bit lighter for a warmer season, then yeah, you don't have to make it a sweater. You can also have a t-shirt with this very nice colorwork yoke, and yeah, it's a total recommendation. So from the warm and cozy to the more spring-like garments, number 1 is done. We come to number 2, and number 2, or the second finished object, is something that has been on my list forever, and I really, really love it. It's the Soldotna Crop by Caitlin Hunter, which is also a colorwork yoke, or a colorwork yoke sweater or top. And in the pattern, she recommends using a DK weight yarn. But honestly, to me, it doesn't make too much sense to make a short sleeve top with a double layered DK weight fabric, because it's not only a DK weight, a colorwork yoke, but also you should do polka dots and little bits and pieces over the whole body section. And I thought, no, for spring I need something that's a bit more airy. So I did some calculations and changed the gauge from DK weight to a fingering weight, but you're still using 3.5 millimeters needles. So it turned out that my stitch gauge was pretty close to what was recommended in the pattern. So I only had to add some rows here and there. I think it was 8 rows that I distributed over the length of the yoke, which was very easy. So if there says 1 purple round, just make 2. So number 1, then so on and so on. So the modifications were very, very easy. And yeah, I chose to use that speckled yarn for the body, and so I skipped the polka dots as well, and it worked out very, very nicely. The fit it's spot on me. Yeah, you may see it in some upcoming episodes. So yeah, the Soldotna Crop by Caitlin Hunter will definitely have 1 or 2 or 3 more versions. I will make more versions of that for sure. So yeah, what's special about this as well is that I hand dyed the yarn for this myself. I thought about what colors I want and what color plate I would imagine to have or I would like best, and then I dyed the yarn and yeah, did the whole process myself, and I was very proud of that as well. So yeah, the Soldotna Crop, definitely one of my favorites. So we stay in the hand-dyed yarn category, and we stay with Caitlin Hunter. So the next one is the Birds and Chips Cowl, which is the same color as I used in the yoke here. So yeah, this is a construction that is super interesting and very entertaining, because you start somewhere here in the middle, then first you work flat, and when you have enough stitches, then you join to the round, and then you end up with this interesting shape and have this triangular situation going on here. And what makes it very, very quick is that it's entertaining. So you want to repeat 1 row of the lace and then another row of the lace, and then you finish the chart with the lace the first time. Oh, I can do the second and the third, and then it's almost done. And hey, let's do this in 3 evenings while watching TV. Why not? Yeah, it was very, very nice and very addicting. So I made 1. And of course, because it was so much fun, I made a second one, which is also in a hand-dyed yarn. It's a sock yarn base, and yeah, you can totally see that it's a different base because it blocks very different. So see the difference? It's both knitted on 3.5 millimeters like recommended in the pattern, but this one is much tighter, and I don't know why. Yeah, in the pattern it says you could do a little tassel tangle thing going on, but I think it will always get interrupted with my jacket zipper. So I skip that and enjoy the color of the hand-dyed yarn, because it's always good to have a useful, nice pattern for hand-dyed yarn that is not socks. And I used 70 grams, so I have a bit left that could go into a scrappy project in the future. So that's it for Caitlin Hunter, one of my favorite designers. I love all her designs. It's just always nice, and this is so cozy. Super nice. So we drink some coffee. And then we stay in the hand-dyed era. In my hand-dyed era. So I wanted to make a tank top for summer or as an undergarment, and then I came up with this nice little construction. It's basically a camisole style tank top. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. It's basically 4 triangles, and then joined them in the round, and then I knitted a few rounds of stockinette and decided to do ribbing then, because I think it's a bit more entertaining than just simple stockinette. And I knitted it until I ran out of yarn, and so I could use a full 100-gram skein on one garment and have something nice for summer for my size, which is, as I said, more in the petite size. 100 gram is enough. If you want to make something like this, you might use a bit more depending on your length, I would say. So the triangles for the front and the back are connected with an I-cord. I think it's a 4-stitch I-cord. Nothing special, very simple, very quick. And it shows the color of the yarn very beautifully. So I'm happy with that as well. So tank tops, camisoles are my go-to knitting mojo projects. I always have something like that on the needles. And I got a bit addicted by one special pattern. I think you all know Jessie Made Designs and her famous bralettes, which every knitter has heard of. So this is only one example of one of the bralettes I made. I think I made 8 or 9 or maybe 10 bralettes already. So the Ribble Bralette by Jessie Made Designs is also one of the patterns that I highly recommend for single sock yarn skeins, whether hand dyed or commercial. It doesn't matter, just it uses the perfect amount of yarn. Depending on how long you knit the body, you can always modify that to your personal preference. And you always end up with a very unique little tank top or bralette. If you want to experiment a bit with the gauge and the tightness of the whole thing, then do that. I think the pattern gives you many options to be creative and make it your own. Don't stick to the pattern too much. I think Jessie Made always would encourage you to use the pattern in the way you need them, and the Ribble Bralette is definitely a staple in my wardrobe. I wear them every day, and so this is just one example for all the other ones in my wardrobe, in my drawer. I totally recommend this, and I already have another one on my needles that I will show you soon in the works in progress. So, Jessie Made is always a good choice when it comes to bralettes or something that is very tight to your skin. She has a very good sense, I think, for design and fitting. So I tried to try something else, and it was a success, I can already tell you. So I made the framework bralette also by Jessie Made Designs, and this one was a very big surprise because the the pattern, sorry, because the pattern gives you many, many options to find your perfect size for this garment. And when I measured myself, I was like, is this correct? I ended up with a size extra small. And I was like, how can I fit in there? It has so much negative ease. And in the pattern, it always tells you to go a size smaller if you're not sure or if you're in between sizes. So, okay, I was like, I'm not going for a small, I'm going for an extra small. And I knitted it. And it was like, who's gonna fit in that? It would be good for a toddler, like a 2-year-old. Really, it was so small. And I had 80 grams of very soft sock yarn. Yeah, I think it was a Lana Grossa sock yarn I used for it. It was 80 grams. And I was like, the pattern says I need 70. I was not sure, but I thought, okay, it's a teeny tiny in-between project. What can go wrong? Just follow the instruction. I was never disappointed with her patterns. So when I did this, it was a big surprise that when I put it on, it fit like a glove, really. It was like what? I made a bra? Like a fitting, functional bra? It was very surprising and I really love it. It's already one of my favorites. Of course, when you wash it and wear it, it stretches out quite a bit. So I consider if I make another one and I have the yarn already here, ready to cast it on, I would go for an extra small because she's true. If you are in between sizes or unsure, take the smaller one. At least with a wool-based yarn. I don't know if it's the same with plant-based fibers. Yeah. But if you want to try for a functional bralette or bra construction, this one is what you would like to try. Maybe elastic can do some more support around the rib cage or the underbust band. But yeah, I would totally encourage you to try this because this was an absolute surprisingly good result. And now my friends, I have something very unusual and we stay in the undergarment section or undergarment, yeah, whatever you want to call it, underwear thing. I'm in a WhatsApp group chat where we do knit-alongs here and there, and we came up with the funny idea that it would be fun if we do a knit-along around everything that covers your butt. And it sounds funny, and it was funny. So everyone was like, oh, I make shorts or I make a skirt, and I was like, oh, I'm going for a panty, and that's what I did. Look at this, isn't this amazing? I mean, it was so fun to make. And it was very adventurous and very unusual. Have you ever knitted underwear or tried to make something like this? I was very surprised. So the pattern is by, let me pronounce it wrong. I know I pronounce it wrong. Galalpaga? Something like this. I write it down below so you can find the pattern and check it out. Please do. So if you want to knit this, she recommends something with cashmere or that's, yeah, very soft against your skin. I didn't have any like that. So yeah, I went with some commercial sock yarn by Regia, and who knitted with Regia sock yarn already knows that it's a bit more on the, I would say, hard wearing side. It's not itchy or something. It's also not scratchy. It's just more, it's not as soft as this or some of the hand-dyed yarns. And so I did a little swatch and tucked it in the waistband of my regular pants and thought, well, if it's a bit itchy here, then it might not be the best option, but it was not. When the wool gets warm, then it gets a bit soft. It's a bissel, that would be German. It gets a bit softer. And yeah, so I thought, okay, I have 70 grams. I already knitted a pair of socks with this yarn, so 70 grams were left. And 60, I think in the pattern she said for my size it would be 60 grams. And it worked. I was so surprised that this also worked out very well. And it doesn't get all flopsy or, yeah, strange under your pants because you have this elastic, double knitted elastic waistband situation going on. And yeah, it holds everything in place, I would say. And of course I haven't worn it too much because I wanted to show you the result first. But I washed it twice so I can see if the elastic holds up in the machine. Of course, I want my underwear to be washable in the machine. So yeah, the color holds up, the shape holds up. What can go wrong? If you ever want to try something adventurous, go with a panty. It was very fun, very quick, and something other than just socks. So these were all the finished garments and accessories and underwear I made this year since the beginning of the year. It's only February, so yeah. Okay, then I have to show you some works in progress. First work in progress is another Ribble bralette, and it's with a very special yarn because it's this, and it looks like a little Easter egg to me. It's from my friend Ellie from Ellie in Sweatpants. She sent it to me all the way from California to Bavaria, which was so nice. I was so surprised. And yeah, it's a very, very elastic yarn. I have never seen it anywhere in Germany. I have heard of cascade yarns 100 times before, but this was, I mean, isn't that amazing how elastic it is? It's like, yeah. And it doesn't feel dry or stiff or anything. It does not feel like knitting with elastic, like elastic you would put into your sewing machine. It's different, totally different. But yeah, I knitted 50 grams already, and I think I will do some more centimeters and then divide for the right and left, front parts of the bralette. So this one is going to be finished by the next episode. I'm very sure about that. And then I have some fluff, some very soft yarn combination. This is what it looks when it's all caked up. Because I wanted to freestyle a hat that has some winter warmth and spring colors. I'll write down which colorways or color numbers the yarn have because they fit so nicely together. It's a perfect match for something that's in between seasons when you still need something warm to wear but also want light and springy colors. So yeah, this is a very good yarn combination that I had in my stash. So yeah, oh, not in my stash, this is a new yarn, but I had these in my stash and this one was new, and I didn't want to make just socks. Oh, camera, hold on. And yeah, so also total recommendation. And another one you have probably seen a million times is the Ranunculus by Midori Hirose. And this is also not my first one, it's number 3 in the row. And it's a pattern that I could also recommend for everyone. If you are advanced or beginner knitter, then yeah, use this pattern and make it your own. Depending on the yarn and needle size you use, you get a totally different garment. And yeah, I avoided Sleeve Island. Very smart because I knitted the sleeves before I knitted the body, and now I only need one ball of yarn and then I do the ribbing and then I'm finished. Yeah, so I can wear this maybe next episode. It's knitted with a Lana Grossa, I think it's called Fashion Tweed. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's called Lana Grossa Fashion Tweed, color 0001. Yeah, and you should use needle size 4 to 5 millimeters, which I did. I think this is 4.5 millimeters and it works out very well. I think, yeah, it's definitely a bit more toothy, the yarn. And if you don't mind it, might be a bit, well, it is soft, but it is toothy, and I'm very sensitive against my neck, so yeah. I think this is the last work in progress that I have brought here with me. And I want to show you another very special yarn that also Ali sent me. It's this. And I think I will make can I knit a top in 48 hours. So this was it for today's episode. Thank you for watching. If you like to see more in the next episode, please like and subscribe, and maybe write in the comments down below what you're knitting on or what your favorite knitting pattern is. So yeah, until the next episode,